life in the vice, CPS tight, fighting through the nights, through the pain and the plight. Lost in the system, kids taken away, but he ain't giving up, fighting day by day. Courtroom's cold, but his heart fire bold. Every document, evidence, stories untold. Digging deep, unearthing all the mess. Knows he's getting closer, there's no time to rest. CPS won't break this man, fighting each day, got a bigger plan. Reclaiming his kids, dreams in his hand, battling for others strong like a brick wall stand. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Vinny stacking facts, ready for the attack. Discovering truths buried deep in the lies. Eyes on the prize, freedom in his eyes. Community's voice rising up, getting loud. Vinny leading the charge, making his folks proud. Taking down giants, carrying the fight. The light at the end now blindingly bright. For his kids, for his life, for the broken and lost. Vinny's resilient, no matter the cost. Breaking free from chains, reclaiming his dream. CPS trembling when Vinny hit the scene.
In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem.
They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with that out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is 1 p.m. and you are here with Vinny, Freedom Fighter. That's right. I am fighting for my freedom. I don't know if any of you guys know, but I am currently under house arrest. I was able to go out and work in the community a couple months ago. They restricted me back to my house yet again. So I'm stuck and fighting to be free, fighting to see my children. It's been a battle and an upscale at that. With that said, don't forget, you guys, tomorrow night we are doing at 7 p.m. the Valentine's show to President Donald Trump. So please make sure you guys are participating and here for that. I just received some new news from my counsel in the CPS case. He said, "Hi, Vinny. I have a phone call scheduled with your new criminal defense attorney at 1:30 p.m. I am also drafting a motion to exclude the CAC interview, and I am providing the supposed Facebook messages to the digital forensic expert to see if he can weigh in on whether they could be AI generated. I will keep you posted." And then he also told me that he also spoke with my case manager for 30 minutes last night and is working on getting a subpoena for her. He told me that she would be a excellent, great source of information when it came to my case, because she is previous to my case. I do not leave my case manager, Danielle, out. Her and my counselor are previous to the information of the TPR, the Guardian ad litem report. I do not exclude them out of it. They know what is going on. They have been with me for some time. Danielle, I've known basically my entire life. I went to school with. And my counselor, I've been with for almost 2 years now. So I've kept them up to date. I've kept them previous to my case. So we talk about a lot of things between the two of us. Well, actually, the three of us, and we include Richard in that. Hopefully, I am hoping to get Corey in on that as well. After today, I'll know more because he's got an appointment with Corey. So I'm looking forward to working with Corey. He seems like a great individual. Um, he's very polite, very respectful. Um, has told me himself that they have made mishaps in the courthouse many times when it came to making sure that the clerk is updating the documents, which she did not in my case. She failed to put out that the judge allowed me to go to work, which gave them all permissions, the DA and the cops, to arrest me. This is a blatant violation of the courts, and I will be looking into this a hell of a lot further. This should not be going on in the court system, and for these courts to get away with doing such things should not be allowed. So I'm going to be investigating that as well. Um, but we're going to dive right in today on some things that I've caught in within my case. We are seeing fraud within my case, from breaking of policy and procedure when it comes to the Child Advocate Center are supposed to notify the parents when there is a child advocate interview being conducted. They fail to do so by um, by not notifying the mother when it was done. This is a definite breach of CAC, which is why my attorney is having that excluded from our TPR hearing because they did not follow protocol or procedure. She was not in CPS custody at the time that they held this child advocate interview. Um, they did not contact my wife. They let Miss Jessica think that she had parental rights when she had no parental rights. She is not even really married, not really related to the family. She's just married in. So she has no say of this child. And for them to allow that and go above the parents' discretion is now void. Um, and other things that Richard has talked to me about, he has said that we really do have a challenge of jurisdiction. We can challenge subject jurisdiction matter because they lack it. Um, and we can kick this up to a higher court and have it challenged for constitutional violations. So that is key now. Is playing a part into my CPS case because I can kick it up to a higher court and challenge their jurisdiction that way, because they have broken due process, they have broken my 14th Amendment right, they have broken my First Amendment right, they have broken the Fourth Amendment right, and they have broken the Ninth Amendment right. Um, and he is seeing that within my case. And he also said that I now, my void ab initio plays into all this because he is seeing void ab initio throughout my case, which means that this case has been corrupt from the beginning when they first started. Because back when they first came out to interview us at where we were staying, I told them, no, you cannot come in, and shut the door. Well, because I did that, and they coerced my wife into opening the door to them and answering them and letting them in, they broke what I had said in the beginning. No, you cannot come in. You just violated my rights. I knew my rights. I knew they couldn't come in without a warrant or court order. I knew that. And I have been fighting ever since the beginning when this first started. Even when they told her, well, you either leave or your husband leaves, or we take your children. Get a court order. Where's your court order stating that you can take my children? Um, they never had one, not once at all. Had a court order. They had a detective there with them from Kennebec County. He is not supposed to be there to serve them. That is definitely against the policies of a cop. A cop does not serve in civil matters, and this was a civil matter. And they tell you that all the time. Even when I was dealing with them here, um, they told me, "Oh, this is a civil matter. You need to deal with it in court. We can't do anything." Well, that's just that applies Cumberland County and Kennebec County. This applies to your CPS case. It's a civil matter. You cannot be involved. So I think you guys need to go back and read your policies and your procedures on civil matters and educate yourselves and know that you are not supposed to be involved with CPS in civil cases. You are not. If you say to someone that you can't be involved in civil matters, then why are you involving yourself in civil matters? You have no right. You have no authority. So step outside the box. You don't belong there. Um, I've been faced with tremendous things. I am charged with the most heinous crimes of SA and many others. I'm also charged with violation of administration process because they say I threatened a district attorney. I didn't threaten him. I said I would sue him. That's not a threat. That's a promise, buddy. And that promise is coming here shortly because I'm going to sue him. It's coming. And I do got one hell of a lawsuit. I've entailed the hours, the amount of what I would get out of the lawsuit and what I would do with my lawsuit. Um, violation of constitutional rights, assault from police officers. It goes on and on and on. There are tons of violations in my entire case, and I am not going to stand for it. I am not going to allow it. And Mr. Trump is going to understand, and some of the emails that I have sent the White House, that, I'm not a man that is going to bow down to an agency that thinks they have more power than the US government or the people. They do not have that power. They work for us, and that is that. They do not hold power over us. These administrative courts do not have power of authority. You can have them thrown out real quick because they're not supposed to be operating within the states. They are not. They're not supposed to be going against the people. And I know Darren likes to beg to differ with me on that, and I get that. But I came across something yesterday, and it was kind of interesting to come across. Um, I'm gonna pull it up here in a minute because I thought that it was very important and it was a good read. Um, and it was put out by our own Obsidian, where it states that these courts are not supposed to be operating within CPS. Um, we are not previous to these courts. Um, they say that they're family matter courts. They're really not. They are in fact administrative courts, which operate under. Again, I did look into this, and you guys can look at it yourself. Darren, I know you're going to debate it with me. They are admiralty courts, which is administration. And it does state it. And one of the paperworks that Mr. Obsidian did find, and one of which that Christopher Naylor found as well. Um, it states that they cannot operate against we the people. Um, so you guys, you need to get these hearings kicked up to the higher courts. There's no other way to explain it that, when it comes to constitutional rights, it has to be a higher court that rules on it. It has to be a federal court or a superior court. Don't kick it up to Supreme Courts because you know what? Supreme Courts are having issues lately. And I've seen that across the board here in Maine, to be exact. The Supreme Court ruling against the legislative body wanting to get into CPS's system to find out what was going on. They denied access. The Supreme Court denied the access. And this is government they denied access to. This is a problem within our Supreme Court judicial system in here in Maine. They're denying that access completely, which says it runs from the Supreme Court to the administrative court, district court. And that's where it draws the line. Superior Court, on the other hand, I have noticed that they have been fighting for constitutional rights and statutes, on whether or not a case can be pushed certain amount of time. And they're saying that statutory laws do not apply because they are unconstitutional. This is a problem. If a superior court is ruling on this and these other courts are not following, we have a breach of power of authority here. And this needs to be dealt with swiftly. And I'm hoping Mr. Trump gets on board and sees what kind of corruption really is going on here in Maine. It runs really, 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 really deep. It's been going on since the 90s. I was talking to a friend of mine who has dealt with CPS back in the 90s, and she had both her kids, her daughter and her son, taken from her, and they did not help her. They did not do anything. They just said she was guilty and took the kids. No remorse whatsoever. This can't be going on, guys. This has got to stop. And the fact that they're getting funding from the federal government and they're just throwing around wherever they feel please. I hope when they do an audit of Maine, they find the most dirtiest shit, because I tell you, there's some money that is very well missing. Up here, I've seen a lot of things where Maine is in the deficit. We're broke. This state is completely broke. We owe mad money to medical hospitals up here. And I'm not talking 1 or 2 years. I'm talking almost 3, 4 years back. That's how broke Maine is. Our governor has made Maine completely broke and is overtaxing the citizens that live in Maine to get that money back. This is wrong. This governor needs to burn in hell. She needs to be hung and she needs to be executed. That is that simple. She has not protected we the people. She has not protected the citizens of Maine. She is nothing for any of us but herself and her pockets of her cronies that she has in office with her. They have gone up against the Republican Party tremendous times. Mind you, most of the coastline is Democratic. So the problem stems from Portland, Maine. That's where the big problem is, because they're overspending on our general assistance programs. You want to know why they're overspending? Because of all the immigrants that we have here in Maine that the Maine Legislative Democratic Party are protecting. And this is true. This is facts. You can look it up. It's on the news channels. It's out there to the public. This is basic knowledge out there to the public. They have allowed to drain, Portland has drained our funds by their general assistance. This is no joke, guys. This is really going on in Maine. And they're just like they're trying to pass the windmill thing in the oceans here in Maine. We didn't agree to this. The Mainers did not agree to this. We don't want it because it's going to destroy our main coastline by doing this. It's going to endanger animals like our whales that we have, and we are well known for whales in Maine. They have whale watches and everything else right here in Maine. And we are definitely known for whales and dolphins. They are a big part of our oceans up here. We have a lot of beautiful land up here. Beautiful, beautiful. You come to Maine in the summertime and you go out and you go sightseeing, and we have some beautiful sights up here, guys. I shit you not. Maine is a beautiful place. It's just corrupt, very much so. There is corruption from Augusta to Portland. Most of our state is a republic. Most of it is. They showed a map the other day, and it was put out by Falkenham, Billy Bob Falkenham, that showed Maine is mostly a red state. The coastline from like Brunswick, Booth Bay Harbor down is the Democratic Party, all the way to Portland, Cumberland County, Sanford, a little bit. So that is our Democratic Party area. And I'm finding it's the same thing with the court cases. I was reviewing my information in the dockets that I got, and it stated on my court records that my attorney Stephen Shea is part of the blue team. And I'm thinking, what the hell does blue team mean? So I did some digging on that, and it means he's part of the Democratic Party. So I looked at who else was a part of the blue team, and it just happened to so much be that um, Stephen Shea answers to District Attorney Carlos Diaz, who is on my criminal case. He's the DA representing the state. And then I look over to see who he answers to, and it's Judge Jay French. They're all in the same mix, all against me trying to, Stephen even put an email that he attached to the DA's office of what I had to say to him to them. This is a blatant violation of an attorney. Blatant. I am not going to stand for an attorney that is going to give my information to a district attorney to further his pockets. I'm sorry, Stephen Shea, but I'm calling you out on this show. You're a lying piece of shit. You should not be an attorney, and you should be fired. You should not have a license to practice in the state of Maine. You are a no good piece of shit. To put this information in document form to a district attorney and give him all my information, that's how they found out where I was working, was Mr. Shea. I've been digging, guys, and I'm finding a lot of corruption in my criminal case, my CPS case, even from the stems of the first couple attorneys I had that did not do what I asked. Why? Because they were all part of the blue team. And now that I have two attorneys that are part of the red team, I'm starting to see more results. Why is that? Why am I seeing more out of Richard, who has represented me zealously? And I mean zealously. This man has bent over backwards to keep everything from the CPS case from going to the criminal case to protect me. That isn't an attorney to me. Attorney that's willing to fight for his client's rights and protect his client's rights is beyond a shadow of a doubt with me. Immense. And now that I have this new attorney who he's worked with closely and knows personally, is even better. He didn't know Stephen from Adam. Never met the dude. I don't even think he trusted Stephen, to be honest. Because Stephen did not do what Richard said. Richard said, we have a PI. We are looking into getting a specialist to review the information with the text messages that they said they supposedly had. We had all this in place. We had the funding for it. But Stephen would not use these people. This is why. Because he was part with Carlos Diaz. They had been bullshitting my criminal case this entire time, putting it off, making up bullshit things just to fund their goddamn pockets. This is corruption at the highest in these courts. And I'm calling that bullshit out. I'm not afraid to. What are they going to do? Come arrest me? They've arrested me twice already. They're going to arrest me for freedom of speech and for calling corruption out as a whistleblower. I'm pretty sure as a whistleblower, you have rights. And they've trampled them fucking rights of the people. This can't go on, guys. It cannot. I've been fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And now I'm starting to get somewhere. Now I got great representation. Corey has been in very well contact with me. We have a secure server that we can talk on without interference of email and them reading my email. It's a private messaging system that's secure between client and attorney. This is big. Like I'm very impressed that this guy has this kind of server so me and him can talk privately. So I can get him the information and facts that I need to get him for my case. And the same with Richard. Richard is reaching out to talk to him on the phone today. And that's tremendous because Richard knows my case inside and out. And he has the information and he knows what I'm looking for. Richard has been key to my entire case because Richard sees what I see. The corruption is deep, more than people know in the state of Maine, more than you know. I guarantee you, if you were to look into it and follow the money, follow the corruption in Maine, I guarantee you that it would go down the whole East Coast because it stems from Maine. Maine is the key to all of this. You guys aren't seeing it because you guys are all dealing with your own states and so on and so forth. But Maine is the key. Maine has the highest rate of kids in custody right now. The highest. We have parents that are still sitting in jail with no representation whatsoever. And they've been sitting in jail for months at a time. Something's wrong with this system here. These jails are violating your rights. They're abusive towards you. They're aggressive towards you. Trust me, I know. I was there. I was there for more than 4 weeks. I know how it is in these jails, and I know how these cops act. You guys have seen it firsthand on this show when me and Darren showed the video of the cops arresting me at my job. They were very aggressive. The one cop had her ballpoint thing for her cuff in her hand, okay? With the sharp end facing forward at me. That's what it was that Darren spotted. It was the cuff piece where they put the point thing into the cuff to lock it. She had the point thing facing at me. I went back and reviewed it and zoomed in a little bit so I could see it. And she, in fact, had it in her hand. And the cop, in fact, had his taser drawn on me. It was on my lower back and then it was below my butt cheek. So he moved it twice. And I'm wondering if, he actually used it and tased me because I did black out for a second. There's a lot of things that are not showing in the video, and I wish I could get the Burger King video stuff, and I haven't even got that. I haven't gotten the audio of, this cop saying there's no audio of the ride to Portland. Yes, there is, because she had a tape recorder there the entire fucking time. I looked down at the console, and it was sitting there on play and record. This cop is a lying piece of shit. She needs to go down. This detective, Victoria Lane, is a liar. She was at a family team meeting where CPS said no cops are supposed to be here at a family team meeting. This is a closed meeting between the parents and everyone involved to get information. No cops are necessary. Yet she was at a family team meeting. It was a setup. They were hoping that I would show up. But who got the last laugh, motherfuckers? Because I didn't show up. I didn't sign a contract with CPS. I never did. So why would I show up to a meeting that I was never contracted to be at? There's a big question for all of you. Stop contracting with CPS. They come to your house. Can I help you? Yeah, we're from CPS. We have a case against you of allegations. Shh, sorry. Do you have a court order or warrant? No. Bye. Shut the door. End of story. They ask to see your kids? Bring them to the window, a closed window, so they can see them and know that they're okay. That's it. You do not have to let them in your house. They don't have a court order. They don't have a warrant. And you all know it takes them a couple of hours to get it. So they will come back. But what's to say you're home? Case in point. Are you going to break into my home and think that you're going to destroy my shit? That's destruction of your property. You can get them for that. That's a lawsuit, buddy. Destruction of private property. And like here, this house, there is 4 signs out front that say private property, no trespassing. I have more to put up this spring that I just got in. They're over there, and I can show you guys. I just bought them. I'm going to get them up. and around the house. But there you go. Private property, no trespassing. They're going to go up all around the house and the property because this property is not owned by the town. It is owned by my stepfather. It is fully paid off. Hell yeah, Darren, I like that. There we go. That's perfect. That fits me well. I like that one. That's awesome, guys. Darren's been working on some new stuff for me. I asked him to fix my name for the show and put my times in. We are going to be doing, yeah, there it is. There you go, guys. Thursdays 1 p.m., Saturdays 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on both. That's going to be my new thing. So keep that in mind. Keep that with your schedules. We do have more shows later on today. I think Kim might be doing a live. I'm going to check with her just to see. I'm waiting to hear back from Miss Amy about her shows. But we also do have another surprise for you guys come Monday. We will be having Sam Mosley doing her own show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. That's going to be exciting to get Sam on the show. That we just talked to her this morning or this afternoon rather. So she will be coming on to do her own show twice a week. This is exciting, guys. Sam is a great advocate and a great help for healing. Yeah, right there. There you go. So that will be great. We're gonna have Sam on here. It's a blessing that we're gonna have Sam. I have talked to Sam. I have followed Sam for a while. Even when I was on TikTok, I followed Sam. Sam has some very interesting stuff to share. She also is doing the advocate program. She's almost through with that, so she's going to be an advocate herself. That is a blessing to have Sam in the fight with us. So just remember, guys, we are adding to this channel. If there's anyone out there who's not afraid to speak up and speak out. If you're interested in about the show, get a hold of me or Darren. You can reach Darren at cpsvhuntingjustice@gmail.com, or you can reach me at darkdark325@gmail.com. I am the show's manager. I'm trying to take the weight off of Darren so Darren can work on our website, which is almost done, I heard. We're gonna have our website up and running, guys. This is fantastic news. Um, and the Tiff and Punisher book is almost done. The child book that will be coming out. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming through. And make sure you guys are checking out Darren's book. Stay Calm CPS is coming. That is on Amazon.com. It is packed full of knowledgeable information that will help you guys combat CPS and in the court systems. Darren is a fighter from hell. He has been fighting for so long now and been on so many different things. There you go. There it is, guys. Darren put it up for you. Stay Calm CPS is coming. There's his book. You can find it on Amazon. And he's got it in multiple languages. So that's amazing, guys. You guys need to be starting to look into this book. It does help support Darren. It does help support the cause of what we are doing. We also have this right here. I'm going to put it up to kind of get the channel out there a little bit more. Right there, help support the stream. This will help us with making sure that we're able to still go live and do the shows for you guys and for our hosts to be able to go live. I wish I was back to work because I tell you what, if I was, I would be helping Darren with the show and making sure that the show is paid for. I wish I had the funding right now to do so, but I don't. And it kind of makes me feel like shit because I can't work and I can't help to get things done with Darren because I would like to buy a couple of Darren's outfits myself. especially his hat and his sweatshirt for Trump, and the T-shirts. I would like to get a few of these, even the ones for my kids, so my kids could have some. Um, so, guys, just remember, we are all in this together. Um, this is a fight that we are starting to win. We're starting to see progress. These courts no longer stand their grounds anymore. They're actually things being made into legislative bodies where they're starting to give back the parental rights that they've been trying to take for years from us. They have violated that process by taking our parental rights because it is specific in the Constitution that our rights exceed those of agencies, which they do, guys. You can fact find it, you can look it up, you can do your own informational dive, run down rabbit holes as you will. We all do it. Me, Darren, Gunner, Brenda, Tiff, Kim, and Amy, and Miss Mosley herself. We all run down rabbit holes. We are all looking for information to better support you guys in the community and help you guys understand the knowledge of CPS. That is what we are here for, to educate you. We ain't here to help you do your motions, to help you do the legality of these things. If you want help finding motions, we're happy to do that for you. We're happy to try to help you with the best knowledge that we have. It might not work for you in some cases because some of our cases are out of Maine, or they're out of New Hampshire, or they're out of Massachusetts, or, so on and so forth. So you have to find the statutes, the codes, the laws within your own states. You have to be looking into this. We're not going to do the digging and information for you. I have more than helped my attorney with my information, which is why the other night Nalar said that I have been a ground for my attorney Richard, because I have been going out there and getting the information that this man needs to help better my case. I have been a fighter from the get-go. Like I said, you got to fight your case. You have to look into information. You have to read your discoveries. You have to go over the information with your attorney and actually have a sit down. You have to tell your attorney what you're looking for and what kind of representation you actually want from your attorney. It's not about, oh, I'm just going to go to court. No, you need to have a relationship with your attorney. I have a relationship with my attorney, and I've actually known Richard before all this happened. When I lived in Bath, he was the chief on the fire department in Bath, Brunswick. So I have met Richard a couple times, and he realized it. He's like, "Yeah, you used to live in Hyde Park," and I said, "Yeah." And I said, "You probably know my ex-mother-in-law." And I said her name, and he's like, "Yes, I know her very well." So, Richard knows who I am, and he gets the understanding of why I fight so hard for my case and why I'm proving all the corruption within my case. And it shows because obviously this man is backing everything that I am doing, and he's getting stuff done. He knows that we have a TPR hearing coming up um, in March, the 12th and 13th, which I am working on subpoenaing people to speak. Obviously, my older sister has to be there due to the case management hearing was rolled into the TPR hearing. So it's a 2-day event. Um, but within that time, I'm hoping, the criminal case might pick up. We'll see. They granted the motion to extend for 30 days. I was supposed to be in court on the 18th, but because I now have new counsel, they have to give him time to review the file. Um, this is huge, guys. For me, this is really huge. I cannot express to you how much you need to be representing yourself as well, helping your attorney. You can't just say, "Oh, well, I need to file these documents," and just throw it at them. You need to explain why you are wanting to file this document with them. What kind of things you are looking for, what violations they have done. Um, that way it's in your case file and on your record. You must get all this on the record. If you don't get it on the record, it's not going to benefit you guys, which is why I always get my stuff done through a notary of the public, because then it is notarized. It is a legal binding document that you sign with in front of a notary. Same with color law. When you want to do a violation under USC 1983, 241 and 242 under color of law, you want to get that filled out, okay? Go in front of a notary of the public and sign and date it. That makes it a legal binding document, which means that when they break that legal binding document, which states it is a pre-suit to a lawsuit, it also has a cease and desist, which they never pay attention to the cease and desist, of course. So I always whack them with the cease and desist right afterwards. This prevents them from any contact with you. And I've seen that the cease and desist works. I've seen that it works because when I was last in court with the CPS case, Lauren Van Dyne, a CPS caseworker, would not come near me. She made her supervisor, who I never served a cease and desist order on, but I have now, she made her supervisor try to serve me. And I said, I do not consent to this. The same thing we're doing when we have the TPR hearing. We're not consenting to the TPR hearing. We are not. And there's a reason why we are not consenting. Because we know what factual information we have in this case. And it will save it for appeal if it comes to that. I don't think it will, because there's a lot of movement going on now. And now these people are going to be held accountable. We're seeing judges in New York being charged. This is big, guys. Trump ain't playing. Neither is Elon. Neither is RFK. Neither is Pam Bondi. They are not playing with these people. Trump has executive powers that trumps the U.S. Supreme Courts. Wake up, America. Wake up. It's time to put the paper to pen and fight. No more giving in. No more backing down. I don't want to hear, well, they told me this, they told me that. Stop listening to these caseworkers. These caseworkers are built upon lying to you. Some of these attorneys are built on lying to you. Obviously, in my case, I have a great attorney who's willing to stick his neck out and put it on the line. He was even willing to go as far as going back and getting his points up just to become a criminal attorney on my case. That says a lot. He was willing to go that mile and get his points up so he could represent me in my criminal case. But now that he's working side by side with Corey, this is going to get blown in their face. I have so much on the state of Maine, it is redonkulous. You guys don't realize how much information I have been building from the first start of this case. I screenshotted every single email sent coming in and going out. I put my constitutional rights in every single email. Every email. Going in, coming out. Going in, coming out. I had due process in there. I was putting my rights in their face. They do not like that, which is why they had me charged the way they did. CPS is the one that pushed through the charges on me. It was done by CPS. It wasn't done by the state. It was done by CPS because they have control in Maine, or at least they think they do. They're about to find out when I whack them. They're going to know what it's like to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, watch out. The cat's right there.
So keep that in mind, guys. I'm going to jump off the show. I got things to do today. I got to go out and plow. But keep that in mind. Have a great afternoon. Darren, you want to key up everything for me? Have a great one, guys. We'll see you back later.
Echoes night. they're gone out of sight. Crying parents' hearts they'd steal, wounds that time may never heal. Hey now, President, listen up. CPS took the love from us. Voices rise, tears in the night. We need justice, make it right. Valentine's Day filled with dread, thoughts of love replaced with lead. Kids taking hearts in despair, taken from their parents' care. Hey now, President, listen up. CPS took the love from us. Voices rise, tears in the night. We need justice, make it right. Kim and Danielle Gunner too, Brenda Herbert crying through. Every soul with voices brave, innocence we wanna save. On Podcast Live we tell our grief, hoping for a swift relief. Heartbreak shared for all to see, begging for our family. Hey now, President, listen up. CPS took the love from us. Voices rise, tears in the night.